The cruise industry has navigated its way through the financial crisis, with reports suggesting the number of passengers is expanding every year. Luxury line Crystal Cruises is cashing in on the revival, announcing plans for a number of ocean-going vessels, including ships and private jets. Edie Rodriguez is with us, the CEO of Crystal Cruises, and joins us on set in a first on CNBC interview. Edie, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about the demand story for luxury, because we also have an image about the cruise line industry and the types of people who go on these cruises, but where are you seeing the demand from?
Well, first of all, Crystal Cruises is the world's most awarded luxury cruise line. So we just celebrated our 25th year in business, and we cater to typically the top 2% of the world's wealthiest. So we survey them all the time on every sailing, and all of the research and studies indicate they are very bullish on the Crystal Cruise experience. And while they come on us every year and multiple times a year to cruise, they like to do other vacation experiences or holiday experiences, as you say here in the UK. And so we're just offering them a plethora of options to vacation, everything from yacht cruising to river cruising to Crystal Luxury Air, which will be 28-day around-the-world itineraries on a Dreamliner that would typically seat 300 guests. We've configured it for just 60 guests with flatbeds.
That sounds rather spacious for,
very spacious.
I guess, a cruise ship in the sky. So tell us what that configuration looks like other than just flatbeds on it's the Dreamliner, right, that you bought, the 787.
Right, we're going to have a lot of things on board, lounges, showers, and a lot of other accoutrements that the luxury guests will be catered to.
What's the price tag on that? Because we know it's really expensive to fly first class on a Dreamliner, let alone a reconfigured Dreamliner.
Well, these will be fully inclusive 28-day around-the-world destinations, departing the first of every month, it's starting in 17. And for those 28 days with everything inclusive, we will take our guests from 12 to 15 destinations around the world, curated on land as well as in the sky in the most luxurious manner. So price points will be approximately 100K USD per person.
So fairly hefty price tag. By geography, where is the interest coming from? Or is it the likes of China still, despite all the tension that we're seeing on the stock market and the economic slowdown?
Well, we cater to a global international palette of guests. So the demand is coming from all over. Of course, organically, China with over, I think, 276 billionaires currently. There's demand from China, but there's actually demand from all over the world. Of course, the US and places like Russia, South America, India. So if you come on one of our Crystal Cruises experiences today, we typically have about 40 nations of guests represented on board, and we figure that will be the same in the sky.
Edie, isn't this just a demographic story? That ultimately you've got a window of opportunity here where the baby boomer bulge are wondering what to do with all that cash they have, and nothing could be nicer than spending 14 days on the high seas. But when they work their way through and they're worrying more about healthcare costs than they are about cruising, you've got a challenge then to get the Gen X, Y and millennials interested.
Well, we don't see it as a challenge really, because today, first of all, the baby boomers, so today's 60 is the new 40. Mentally, they think they're younger, and God bless them, they should be healthy. But there's a lot of Silicon Valley billionaires out there, which are the millennials and the Gen X's, if you will. So we believe by offering a plethora of options, we will cater to this cross palette of age demographic and psychographic. So to that point, as an example, you can go on Crystal Cruises, which is more traditional luxury cruising, or you can take, starting this December 23rd, our yacht, the Crystal Esprit, 62 guests doing the Seychelles and the Adriatic coast. We have a marina that flips down in the back. We're the first luxury cruise line to offer submarine voyages. You can go down in a 3-person submersible, even have a wedding under the sea, if you will. But for that younger audience that likes sea-doos and submarines and kayaking and all of those water sports, we can cater to that. So I think the palette is changing. Last January, as an example, we have an around-the-world journey every year. And last January, two of our guests were a honeymoon couple. The girl was 24 years old. The husband was 39 years old. He was in investment banking, hedge fund type things. Yeah. All he needed was to be connected. We give you Wi-Fi on board, so whether we're in Antarctica or anywhere around the world, our guests can stay connected, even in the sky.
I almost hate to bring it up in this context, but what do things like the Costa Concordia disaster do for business? I mean, was there any significant impact immediately after that crisis? And then we've obviously had a succession of stories about illnesses breaking out on ships. Again, do you have short-term damage on bookings as a result of those phenomena?
Well, sadly, that Concordia situation certainly affected the industry in general, painting in broad strokes. It didn't affect Crystal Cruises. We are very proud of our record. Our two vessels have never been out of service, not one day, because of technical functionalities.
We've got to wrap it up, unfortunately, but thanks so much for taking the questions this morning. Nick, good to see you. We wrap up Squawk Box. Edie Rodriguez, the CEO of Crystal Cruises, Nick Khan, founder of Khan Macro Advisors. That is Squawk Box, Worldwide Exchange up right after